Elizabeth II Charles, Prince of Wales Elizabeth II Boris Johnson Dominic Raab Elizabeth II the Lord Fowler Sir Lindsay Hoyle Sir Keir Starmer Supreme Court the Lord Reid the Lord Hodge Andrew Bailey Monetary Policy Committee The Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office is a department of the Government of the United Kingdom. It is responsible for protecting and promoting British interests worldwide and was created in 1968 by the merger of the Foreign Office and the Commonwealth Office. The head of the FCTO is the Secretary of State for Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Affairs, commonly abbreviated to Foreign Secretary. This is regarded as one of the four most prestigious positions in the Cabinet, the great offices of state alongside those of Prime Minister, Chancellor of the Exchequer and Home Secretary. The FCTO is managed from day to day by a civil servant, the Permanent Under-Secretary of State for Foreign Affairs, who also acts as the head of Her Majesty's Diplomatic Service. This position is held by Sir Philip Barton, who took office on the 2nd of September 2020. In September 2020, the Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office was formed from merging with the Department for International Development, and the Foreign Secretary's responsibilities merged with those of the Secretary of State for International Development. According to the FCTO website, the department's key responsibilities are as follows. In addition to the above responsibilities, the FCTO is responsible for the British Overseas Territories. This arrangement has been subject to criticism in the UK and in the Overseas Territories. For instance, the Chief Minister of Anguilla, Victor Banks, said, "We are not foreign, neither are we members of the Commonwealth, so we should have a different interface with the UK that is based on mutual respect." There have been numerous suggestions on ways to improve the relationship between the overseas territories and the UK. Suggestions have included setting up a dedicated department to handle relations with the overseas territories and the absorption of the OTD in the Cabinet Office, thus affording the overseas territories with better connections to the centre of government. The Fcto Ministers are as follows. The Foreign Office was formed in March 1782 by combining the southern and northern departments of the Secretary of State, each of which covered both foreign and domestic affairs in their parts of the kingdom. The two departments' foreign affairs responsibilities became the Foreign Office, whilst their domestic affairs responsibilities were assigned to the Home Office. The Home Office is technically the senior. During the 19th century, it was not infrequent for the Foreign Office to approach the Times newspaper and ask for continental intelligence, which was often superior to that conveyed by official sources. Examples of journalists who specialized in foreign affairs and were well connected to politicians included Henry Southern, Valentine Chirol, Harold Nicholson, and Robert Bruce Lockhart. During the First World War, the Arab Bureau was set up within the British Foreign Office as a section of the Cairo Intelligence Department. During the early Cold War, an important department was the Information Research Department, set up to counter Soviet propaganda and infiltration. The Foreign Office hired its first woman diplomat, Monica Milne, in 1946. The FCO was formed on the 17th of October 1968. From the merger of the short-lived Commonwealth Office and the Foreign Office. The Commonwealth Office had been created only in 1966, by the merger of the Commonwealth Relations Office and the Colonial Office. The Commonwealth Relations Office having been formed by the merger of the Dominions Office and the India Office in 1947, with the Dominions Office having been split from the Colonial Office in 1925. The Foreign and Commonwealth Office held responsibility for international development issues between 1970 and 1974, and again between 1979 and 1997. The National Archives website contains a government timeline to show the departments responsible for foreign affairs from 1945. From 1997, international development became the responsibility of the separate Department for International Development, when David Miliband took over as Foreign Secretary in June 2007. He set in hand a review of the FCO's strategic priorities. One of the key messages of these discussions was the conclusion that the existing framework of 10 international strategic priorities, dating from 2003, was no longer appropriate, although the framework had been useful in helping the FCO plan its work and allocate its resources. There was agreement that it needed a new framework to drive its work forward. The new strategic framework consists of 3 core elements. In August 2005, a report by management consultant group Call & Son Grant was made public by Andrew McKinley. The report severely criticized the FCO's management structure, noting, "The 4&0